1956 USA 1-cent coin. Today, we're diving into the era of poodle skirts, rock and roll, and the tempting whisper of hidden fortunes. We're talking about the humble 1956 US 1-cent coin, and the electrifying rumor that it could be worth millions of dollars. Many of you have likely stumbled upon forum posts, social media claims, or even heard from a friend of a friend about this particular penny. Can a coin from a year when hundreds of millions were minted truly hold a secret path to unimaginable wealth? Well, get ready to separate the fact from the fantastic. We're going to explore why a regular 1956 cent isn't going to buy you a rocket to the moon, what actual million-dollar US pennies look like, and how easily a whisper can become a roaring misconception in the digital age. Let's uncover the truth. First, let's meet our main character, the 1956 Lincoln cent. It features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that was still relatively new at the time, having been introduced in 1959. Now for the eye-opening figures. In 1956, the U.S. Mint produced an absolutely staggering number of these pennies across its two active mints: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark 690, 090, 000, Denver Mint, D Mint mark 793,492,000. That's a grand total of 1,392,086,500 Lincoln cents. Almost 1.4 billion pennies. When you have billions of a particular coin, they are, by definition, common. A regular 1956 penny, even one you find in relatively good condition today, is simply worth 1 cent. Maybe a little more if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, but we're talking pennies, not dollars, let alone millions. So, if your standard 1956 cent isn't going to make you rich, why do these million-dollar rumors pop up? It's often a result of confusion, sensationalism, and a misunderstanding of what truly makes a coin valuable: extreme rarity, a verified, significant minting error, or unique historical context. When we talk about million-dollar pennies in the US, we are referring to a very select, almost mythical group of coins. These are often unique errors or historically significant issues that barely survived. For example, the 1943 copper cent. This is perhaps the most famous million-dollar penny in U.S. numismatic history. During World War II, pennies were made of steel. However, a tiny number of 1943 cents were accidentally struck on copper planchets left over from 1942. Only around 40 are known to exist. One sold for an astounding $1.7 million in 2010. While not millions, this is one of the most famous and scarce regular-issue Lincoln cents. The VDB refers to the designer's initials, which were controversially removed shortly after the coin's release. The S mint mark is for San Francisco. A regular 1909 SVDB in high grades can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. An exceptionally rare proof example could reach higher, though still not typically millions. Do you notice the pattern? These are coins with incredibly low mintage or unique compositional errors, and they have been known and documented by experts for decades. The 1956 cent doesn't fit this profile. So, if the 1956 cent isn't on par with these numismatic legends, how did it get caught up in the million-dollar coin frenzy? It usually boils down to a few common misunderstandings and the rapid spread of misinformation, confusion with other years/errors. The most common reason for the 1956 penny myth is often confusion with the 1955 double-die obverse Lincoln cent. This is a genuinely valuable and famous error where the date and Liberty are visibly doubled due to a minting malfunction. A high-grade 1955 double die can easily sell for thousands of dollars, and some top examples have fetched over $50,000. Many people misremember the year and incorrectly associate this doubling error with the 1956 missing mint mark claims. Sometimes, the rumor specifies a 1956 penny without a mint mark, implying a rarity. However, pennies minted in Philadelphia, which produced 690 million in 1956, traditionally do not have a mint mark. So, A 1956 penny without a mint mark is perfectly normal and very common. Exaggerated or undocumented errors. While minor errors can happen in any year, e.g., small die cracks, minor off-center strikes, these are almost never worth millions. There are no known, widely recognized, and consistently high-value errors specific to the 1956 1C that would remotely elevate its value into the millions. Any online claims of such errors are likely greatly exaggerated, misidentified, or simply untrue. The simple truth is, the 1956 Lincoln cent was produced in colossal numbers. It's a common coin, readily available, and a regular one will not fetch millions of dollars. So, if the 1956 penny isn't your lottery ticket, what should you be looking for in your change? The principles for finding genuinely valuable coins are consistent, regardless of the year. Low mintage figures, this is paramount. Coins with very low production numbers for circulation are inherently rarer. The lower the mintage, the higher the potential value. Genuine minting errors. Look for clear, unmistakable errors from the minting process. Mules. A coin struck with dies not intended to be paired together, like the 1955 doubled die obverse or a coin struck with the wrong denomination die. These are incredibly rare and highly valuable. Striking errors, off-center strikes, part of the design missing, strong doubled dies, visible doubling of letters/numbers, or planchet error. These must be significant and verifiable. Unique compositions or varieties. Sometimes, test coins or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet escape the mint. These are typically extremely rare. Exceptional condition. Even a relatively common coin can fetch a premium if it's in absolutely flawless, mint state, brilliant uncirculated or proof condition, especially for older coins that rarely survive in such quality. This premium is for serious collectors, not usually found in circulation. Historical significance. Coins tied to major historical events, unique designs, or from very early periods of coinage can be highly collectible due to their historical context. Always cross-reference any suspicious findings with reputable numismatic sources like the Red Book, a guidebook of United States coins, official U.S. Mint mintage figures, and established auction house records. Be very wary of sensational claims on social media or unverified online listings without concrete, expert-backed evidence. So, while your 1956 U.S. 1-cent coin is almost certainly not going to make you a millionaire, don't dismiss the humble penny entirely. Collecting coins is a fantastic hobby. Each coin, even a common one, tells a story, a small, tangible piece of American history in your hand. The 1956 cent is a snapshot of post-war America, a booming economy, and a nation still looking forward. It's a reminder of a simpler time, and that's a value that goes beyond mere dollars and cents. So, go forth, check your change, and remember, while the 1956 penny might not buy you a private jet, it's still a neat piece of Americana from nearly 70 years ago. Thanks for watching.